Hey guys, so before this video starts, I would like to announce that I've created my own Discord server, so come join me there with the link in the description, and let's get right into the video. Oh yo people, welcome back to a brand new hardcore episode. This is a series where if we die even once, it's game over forever. Now on today's agenda is progress. It's time to actually step up our hardcore game for real this time. So subscribe and leave a like if you're excited, and let's get rocking. Welcome back to our village. Today guys, we're getting the best gear in Minecraft. This means that we'll have to upgrade this primitive blue stuff into fancy netherite armor. And now the best way to get netherite is by using a little bit of a trick. Now this is very dangerous, but we are going to sleep in the nether. And I know what you're thinking, that's stupid, you'll die. But trust me guys, we are using the explosive beds to mine in the nether, uncovering a bunch of ancient debris, and of course to make beds we need wool. Now luckily we have this sheep pasture here that provides a lot of wool, but it's still going to take some time to shear all of these sheep and let them regrow their wool. So I think in the meantime we could work on a bit of a house in our village. Now the house I want to tackle is this farmer house, and it's a diagonal building, so it's going to be really challenging to build. And I'm also going to use a few different types of blocks in here. For example, brown mushroom block, which I currently have 0 of. So let's go ahead and gather up all the materials we need for this house, and I'll come back to you guys. So I went ahead and grabbed my horse, traveling across forests, hillsides, and every terrain type you can imagine. But eventually I made it to the dark oak forest, and I started mining a bunch of these mushrooms right here. And I think the brown mushroom block is a really great building block, and you'll see in a bit how nice they actually look in the building. So that's a big recommendation for y'all, and they're also pretty easy to get. Then I went on to mine a bunch of dark oak trees. Alright, so in my inventory now, as you can see, I have a lot of materials. I don't really need any dark oak, but since I'm here already, I thought I might as well get some. But anyways, let's head home now and get this building started. So we are back in the village now, so let's get starting building this thing. So for this building, I started off with a stone base, using stone bricks on the corners as pillars, and then filling the rest in with some light grey concrete powder. And then for the roof, I wanted this building to be a bit lower, so I went with some slabs. And then for the second floor, I used so-called mushroom blocks that I talked about earlier, and I think these colors really fit in together. And then I kept working on the second floor roof, which I made a bit steeper because I thought it needed a bit more depth to it. And so this was pretty much the whole process for the house. Now after finishing up the roof here, I decided to add in a bit more detail around, so I added in some windows with some shutters. And then I made some beams on the sides here on the second floor, which I think turned out really great. Made a nice little entrance. Then I decided to add in a tower here in the corner, which I think just adds a bit more detail and depth to this house, and you can't really go wrong with a tower, right? And our diagonal house is done. I think it turned out really cool. And I also think it's a great addition to our village right here, just to kind of break things up a little bit. And I wanted to make it a bit lower than the other houses, because as you can see, these are all very tall. So this one's going to be a bit lower down, which I think just adds a bit of variation to the village and makes it a lot more interesting. But anyways, as you can see here in the front, I've used some brown mushroom blocks up here, just going with a simple spruce roof. And then for the walls down here, I have some tough blocks and some light grey concrete powder. And then if we come along to the side here, we can see that there's a nice tower, and this leads up to a second floor I'm adding in for this building right here. So this building will basically host 2 families, I guess you could say. So one up there and one down at the bottom. And I will let this roof age down a bit, because currently I don't really like the regular copper color. I think the aged one looks a lot better. As you can see, it's kind of a hazard with a bunch of mobs in here. So I'll quickly have to light up this area to prevent mob spawning, of course. And I also had this nice little flower garden here with some sort of pink theme, I guess. And this leads into this nice little hedged pathway right here. And I'm thinking here back in the back section of the village, I'm going to have some gardens here. And those gardens will then border the fields we'll have on this hillside right here. And I think that will kind of help separate the town from the regular farming areas, just to make the town stand out a bit on this hillside. But now, more importantly, let's shear some sheep. Oh god, that was almost a tongue twister. That was really hard to say. Alright, so I've been shearing the sheep a bunch of times and I managed to get a lot of wool, as you can see right here. And now we just need to make some beds so we can actually mine netherite. And we're going to be needing 40 ancient debris because that will get us about 10 netherite. So hopefully this amount of wool is enough. But anyways, let's craft up some beds and then head into the nether. Just need to take care of the ghast here. Oh, this is not good. What? That hit him. Come on. There we go. And we even got the achievement return to sender. That's fantastic. But anyways, let's make a tunnel down to ancient debris level so we can get some netherite. Alright, so let's make our little crafting station right here. And just as I made a little preparation tunnel just to not explode these chests here, I found a bit of ancient debris. And it seems like there were 2 of them. Anyways, let's get our first bed placed down in here. And explode. There we go. Do we have any ancient debris in here? It seems like there are none. Let's continue with our next bed. I think I want to mine in a regular netherrack because it explodes a lot better. So let's try and make our way over here. And there's just lava everywhere. This is terrible. Oh no, 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 no. I don't want any of that. This has turned out to be a catastrophe. Come on. Now let's get another bed placed. Explode. There we go. Look at how much more we uncover now. This is great. And there's 1 piece of ancient debris. That's good. We're making progress. That's a bit random. I did not expect to get that achievement here, but I guess we're in a crimson forest, which I've never been in before, so I mean that's good. I'm actually going to try a bit of a different tactic this time. So I'm going to make a big tunnel and I'm going to place all of the beds at once and then just activate all of them. Oh, ancient debris. Very cool. Any more around? Nope. Now, I kept mining in the same way, using my beds to uncover as much ancient debris as possible. Now, it took a really long time to find an ancient debris because it's a really rare ore. And I also didn't really watch what I was doing, so I took a lot of fire damage, but the grind was worth it in the end. Oh, just look at the destruction I've caused around here. I mean, this is pretty bad, honestly. It's crazy what those beds can do. But to be fair, I did get a bunch of ancient debris from this, so it's all worth it in the end. And while mining, I didn't really pay attention to my armor, so my helmet broke. And I also added mending to my other pieces of armor because we already had the villager trade. But anyways, now that we have 43 ancient debris, let's head home and let's see if we can make some netherite stuff. I also need to bring home all the wool I didn't use. I actually overestimated the amount of wool you need for this. So everything is moved back into our base now, and I think it's time we actually make some netherite stuff. But before we can do that, we need a place to actually convert this into scraps and also convert our diamond tools into netherite tools. And of course we can just make a smithing table and melt this stuff down, but that wouldn't be any fun, right? So right here, if you saw the planning video, I planned out a smith, and I'm thinking it's going to be similar to that building, just a bit smaller and not as tall. And we're also going to add a few like extensions and working areas on the outside because you wouldn't want a lot of smoke getting trapped inside of the actual house. So let's get working on that right now. Now for this building I need a variety of materials. One of those are stone, so I gather up a bunch. Another thing I need is spruce, which you need for pretty much every building. And so I gather up a bunch on this mountain here. And then I decided to go into a cave and mine up a bunch of dripstone. Alright guys, so I've finally managed to get some materials. I put other ones in my storage room right there. But I'm thinking I'm going to start off by making the skeleton of this house. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tower up a bit and then I'll just show you guys the process basically. This might seem a bit low, but you know the roof is going to be part of the first floor. So we're just going up like this. And then I think this is the center, so something like this. So I built the first side up right here, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This time it's going to be a lot wider, so it's going to be higher because it's kind of the main part of the house. Here's the center. Now let's do the same thing on this other side. So now let's do the last one. Let's add in some more detail to this roof. There we go. So I added some stairs and some walls on top. And I'm going to copy the same design over to all of the other arches. And there we go, guys. The shell is in place. And I think it's time we add in our roof. Alright, so since this guy is the smith, I'm thinking a copper roof would fit quite nicely. Since, you know, he works with metal and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and add in that right now. So starting off, I'm just going to add some basic lines here so I know where everything will go. Now, this roof is quite steep, so it kind of acts as a second floor as well. But anyways, guys, if you watched this far into the video, I'm sure you liked it. So please leave a like on this video. It helps me out a lot. And there we go. The roof is added in on the front side. So let's continue with the back side. Alright, so the roof is fully added in now, and of course I'm going to let it age down so it looks a bit nicer, because if I'm being honest, I don't really like this regular copper look. I guess I'll take a lot of time, but we'll get there eventually. Now though, I would like to make a platform where the actual smithing is taking place, so I think this kind of corner here would be a great spot for that. I'm going to add some sort of wooden roof up here, because, you know, if it would rain and stuff, that wouldn't be very good for the smith, I guess. So let's add in a platform for that, and then we'll continue on with the walls. So I'm gonna raise up some sort of platform above the normal terrain. So I'm going to add in some stairs right here, then maybe adding in some tuff as a retaining wall right here, and maybe mixing in some other stone types as well. Now the platform outline is in place. Let's fill in this area right here. Our platform is in place, and as you can see, I made this area look a bit darker because, you know, ash and coal and stuff would sort of change the color of the stone here. Alright, so with the platform in place, let's do the actual walls right here. So I'm going to use some cracked stone brick right here. So the cracked stone bricks are in place. Let's add in some deep slate and tough blocks. And it's going to look something like this. Let's move on to the other sides. So I kind of kept the same theme going on for the entire house, adding in different types of blocks, symbolizing different types of damage or weathering to the house. For example, I have the ashy area on the front there. Here towards the back, I went with more stone and lighter colors just to show kind of the water weathering down the building, which I think just adds a lot of character to this build, makes it feel really, really old. And there we go, guys. All of the walls are in place, and as you can see, this building really looks pretty beat down. It looks a lot older than the other ones around here. I really like these gradients here on the walls because they just add a lot of character to the build, especially this blacked out area. Looks really, really cool and atmospheric. Now, I think it's time we actually add in some details around here, and then we'll go and work on the actual forge. So starting off here, I brought up some pillars and extending those with this roof. I went with a sort of thatch type roof, which I think fits in quite nicely with this village. And then I worked on the chimney chute, which is made out of brick. And then I added in some campfires and stuff, added in some smoke up here from the actual chimneys. And that was it for the smith. Alright, so I've been spending some time here actually making the forge, and as you can see, I brought down this nice roof here along the side of the building. Then we have this railing right here. Coming in here, we have some plants, and then walking into the actual forging area, we have some crates, a nice anvil, then we have this cooling area, and then the actual forge. So you would actually melt down metal right here, and then you take the metal, hammer it on the anvil, and then just cool it down right there. Then we have this nice shelf right here, and then we have the blast furnaces where I'm smelting down some netherite. So as you can see, I already did that, and I have some netherite scrap, and then we're going to turn that into netherite, and then of course turn our diamond gear into netherite gear. But before we can do that, I actually need to fix up some of my gear because some of the armor pieces aren't completely perfect. And if you remember my sword from a few episodes ago, it had knockback on it, so I need to make a new one. So starting off with our boots, depth strider is exactly what we need, so let's go with that. And now let's see what we get on the sword. That is not quite what we need. But this hoe is pretty good though, so I'm going to keep that one. The helmet's pretty decent, so I'm keeping that one. And this sword is also pretty nice, so I'm keeping that one for now. Alright, so in my inventory now I have all of the pieces I need to get perfect gear. So for the sword I have these 3. So it's got looting, fire respect, sharpness 4 2 times, and then sweeping edge. I'll add mending to all of them later though, but for now I'm just going to combine these. And I need more experience. And there we go. Our sword now has perfect enchants. There we go. Now all of our gear is perfect and it's time to put netherite on it. So let's grab the netherite scrap and craft up some netherite. There we go. And now we convert. So let's start with the sword. There we go. Then our helmet. Like so. Then for our boots. Fantastic. And look guys, I got the achievement, cover me in debris. That's so cool. But let's do our hoe as well, because netherite hoes are OP. And there's another achievement. We just keep getting them. We have 3 purple ones already in this video, which is fantastic. But now I just need to add mending and I'm breaking some of the stuff and then it'll be completely perfect. And there we go guys. I now have the perfect gear in Minecraft. As you can see, I have perfect enchants and netherite on everything. And this is so cool. And we also managed to make some pretty good progress on our village here today, which I find really amazing. So let's grab a nice screenshot. There we go. But anyways guys, that is going to have to be it for today's episode. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord server. Peace out guys.